Well, the offseason is still busy here for Arizona high school football. Welcome on into Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins. Later on in the show, I'll be out at the Boys and Girls Club for a cool story involving a chef that has some ties to the Dillingham family and some Mountain Ridge girls flag football players as well. We've got Kay Solomon on the show who just announced his retirement. But first, we're opening things up with Cody Cameron. Cody, glad to have you here. Well, there's a lot that we can get into with you, Cody, but realignment, specifically in 6A. You saw it yesterday. What was your reaction?
So I like it. And I talked to a lot of coaches in the state who did not like it. And a lot of people really, really upset, and rightfully so. I understand the geographic aspect of it, right? High school football, you want to play the neighborhood schools. That's usually your biggest rivals, a lot of your district games. So I understand that. But a lot of the biggest flack in the 6A the last really like 3, 4, 5 years, right, has been, hey, why is this region who's so much more dominant than X region? How come there's no balance, right? And we saw that really last year. The East Valley region was a total gauntlet. I said early on, I thought that was going to be the most competitive and strongest region in 6A football. And it kind of proved itself to do that, right? And then you have the Premier region who's done that for a numerous amount of years. And the issue with that, and I think a lot of the teams in those regions will go, hey, we beat up each other every single week, and then we limp into the playoffs and lose. And so they kind of got a point there. They had the toughest schedules mostly in the state. Some of those West Valley schools with Liberty and Centennial also very, very tough schedules. So now creating the balance. The AIA wanted the balance. And honestly, when you look at these regions, I see balance. I see the geographic struggles. I can understand why a coach is going, why do I have to travel an hour and a half for a region game? I understand that. But when you look at the region balance, I thought they did a really good job. You have top teams. You got, it's like rankings, like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You have those teams in there. And now a team that maybe was 7-3 in a weaker region, they have a chance to beat a team, a strong team, get those power points, make the playoffs, and vice versa to a Centennial that's 3-7, you know, running away and winning a 6A title. They have a chance now to be a 5-5, a 6-4 because of the way the schedule plays out.
When I look at this, I actually agree with a lot of what you say, but they also did keep those rivalries kind of intact, right? We see Chandler and Hamilton still together, Liberty, Centennial. You're seeing the major ones that you want to see every season. They're going to stick around, right? Because there's a lot of hype around those games. But I actually find this really fun because I mean, most of the time you're waiting till playoffs to see things kind of shaken up.
Yep.
So I really think this might be a test of, hey, maybe some teams are improving as a result of this. Maybe it's when you play a team that's better than you play better. I just see a lot of room for fun opportunity here.
Yeah, 100%. And Claudia, like you said, I want to see Mesa versus Westwood, Red Mountain versus Mountain View, like the true rivalries in the state of Arizona that make high school football amazing. I want to see that. But you're spot on. We're going to see matchups that we wouldn't see, right? We just have not seen because of when it happened. And I think that balance, I think the AIA accomplished exactly they were one. And I keep saying the AIA, the athletic directors too. This is all ADs. This was ADs at these schools making these decisions. So I thought they did a really good job.
Yeah, I mean, as we're talking here, my initial reaction kind of similar to what you were saying with the coaches. I was like, what the heck is this? Doesn't make sense. You got Chandler schools traveling all over and vice versa. But when you look beyond the travel, and I know that is going to be an extra hassle and an extra cost potentially on the schools, but I think they're going to be okay overcoming that. And it's another thing to teach kids, especially some of these programs that send a lot of kids to college. Like, hey, you're going to get used to travel. Now you got a little chance to get used to it early. But what I do like is that, yeah, you're not going to have one region where it's a bunch of teams beating each other up, and then you get a repeat of what we had in the Open this year, where you end up with four 6A teams and four 5A teams. This gives the AIA, in my opinion, now some wiggle room to not have to completely change the Open division, because now you're going to see there's a very clear path to have eight 6A teams make the Open when you look at these regions. You can pick and choose already the top one or two teams in each of those regions. Say, yeah, they only lose one game or potentially two games, depending on their non-conference schedule, they would be an Open team. So I can see that being part of the solution too.
Yeah, and I think too it's rewarding 6A teams. We're going back to the number of teams, right? Like 6A's got 29 teams, where 5A I think is at either right under 50 or just a little over 50 amount of teams. And so you have that argument of going, well, every 6A team is making the playoffs. You got 16 teams making the 6A conference playoffs and 7 to 8 making the open. Okay, then we'll go up there and play. That's always been my like you go, how is there in 5A you have to win 8 games to make the playoffs. Go up. Go up and appeal. Go play 6A then. I am not upset at all about 6A. 24 of the 29 teams in 6A making the playoffs because they're playing the top of the tops every week, especially with the balance of these regions too.
I'm curious, is there a region that kind of excites you the most that when you saw this shake up, you were like, oh, this is going to be fun?
It's interesting, right? Because you have that East Valley region of last year, and I think they still have a little bit of that with ALA, Quinn Creek, Castile, and Quinn Creek. Okay, so those 3 teams, once again, geographically, they're perfect. I mean, those schools are directly east or directly north of each other, so they keep that. And then they bring in a Corona del Sol and Desert Vista. And the 2 things about that program, and Claudia, I know you know Desert Vista really well, just covering a lot of the Ahwatukee schools a lot, is DV is such a proud program. When I first came here in 2017, you look at what they have, 3,000 students, beautiful facilities, an all-state track team. You walk on Desert Vista's campus, there are athletes everywhere. I want to see that school get there. And they have a current head coach. The administration's got to believe in the head coach. And Coach Mack is an amazing human being. He's a great coach. Give him 5 to 8 years. They had like 6 coaches in 6 years. Let him coach there. Let him build his culture. Let him establish the culture. And let's see what he can do. Because I really think geographically, the talent on campus, the facilities, I think that school can get back to where it was in a 2017 with Coach Hines, a 2018 and that. And then you have Corona del Sol with Coach Eric Lauer coming over, Aaron Frano, one of the best athletic directors in the state of Arizona, coming over. Same thing. I think it's the school in Tempe School District that has the talent, has the facilities, and can be a top school. We get to see that now. And so I love that mesh. I love the competitiveness of that. And also when you play Castile, ALA, and Quinn Creek, you got to strap it up because those guys bring it every week.
For next year, what I've been telling coaches in our newsletter that I write every month to the coaches in Arizona is just put us on the radar. So next year when I'm sending out the registration form for players is, get your attention, is put it on your calendar. Hey, Coach Cam's gonna be sending email in October to register some players, right? So next year we really are hoping that we can have 2 Arizona teams play each other, rather than have the California team versus the Arizona team. So I believe we can get enough traction, enough interest, enough players and coaches to have 80-something players represented from Arizona. This year it's a little over 40.
When I started to compete, they told me I should stop. When I came in dead last, they told me I should stop. When colleges didn't recruit me, they told me I should stop. What they didn't know is that I am unstoppable.
Let us help you be unstoppable with your financial goals at desertfinancial.com.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains.
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go!
Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
This is a Santan Ford announcement.
Santan Ford has over 1,600 new cars and trucks in stock. All models are priced for immediate sale to make room for more arrivals. Don't wait. Head to Tim Hovig's Santan Ford in Gilbert.
We are Santan Ford.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna.
Visit us at Harrah's Auction Casino in the city of Maricopa, where you'll find play for all and friendly people ready to welcome you like family.
Welcome back, you two.
As the official sponsor of Play and the only casino in Arizona with Caesars Rewards, see what a difference it makes to play where your fun is our top priority. Harrah's Auction Casino. Play for all.
What would you need to experience life in full motion? Expertise to provide the best care, unsurpassed training and technique. It requires the best orthopedic surgeons. Ortho Arizona.
When I started to compete, they told me I should stop. When I came in dead last, they told me I should stop. When colleges didn't recruit me, they told me I should stop. What they didn't know is that I am unstoppable.
Let us help you be unstoppable with your financial goals at desertfinancial.com.
With Snowflake Lobos head coach Kay Solomon, who just announced his retirement. And I want to dive into all the things that have come to be a part of your career as the head coach for the Lobos. But first and foremost, I just want to know what the impact leading this program has had on your life.
Well, this last couple of days is a good indication of it. As news broke, I made the decision back in early January and let administration know over at the high school that was going, things were going to go that direction. But as news broke just these past few days, I've heard from so many people from, obviously from the community, former players, parents, coaches that I've worked with, and so on and so forth. Also, lots of coaches around the state reaching out. It's been fun to reminisce and think things over and go through, these past 10 years, especially as head coach.
How long has that been something you've been considering, stepping away from football? I know you're still going to be, doing your jobs at school as well, but how long has it been in your mind that, this might be the last year, or was it something that just kind of came about recently?
No, at the end of every season, I always told people, it's time, because my youngest son, that I coached all 3 of my sons, through the Snowflake program back in the day, and my youngest, when he graduated with the 2020 team in 2021, there was a lot of speculation then that, he's probably done. I wasn't even close to thinking about it then, but I always took a little time at the end of every season to kind of reevaluate where things are. But like I said, really it was early January when I made the final decision, talked it over a lot with my wife, Rhonda. She's been super supportive, lots of sacrifice on her part and on the part of coaches wise to be able to do allow us to do what we do.
One thing that I wanted to pick your brain about, in the city, there's a lot of movement between players. They're going to different programs to play with, a better program or for a different coach. That's probably not something that you're experiencing at Snowflake, right? Yet you've had all of this success. What do you think that's a testament to?
Well, and you can look back to the Blue Ridge dominance days up here and Sholo when Coach Reisdorf was still up here too. They had a very strong program going. these kids grow up. Our Little League teams, there are 3 levels of Little League football up here that compete against other teams from the area. And our kids are the Snowflake Lobos in Little League. The Sholo kids are Sholo Cougars in the Little League program. And the Blue Ridge kids are Yellow Jackets. And, you know, the Round Valley kids are Elks. It starts from young. It's a community thing. It's still a big community pride thing up here. You know, that's I like to kind of think of it as football and still sports, and kind of in its pure form, where, you know, it's not a money thing. It's nothing more than, you know, I want to grow up and represent my community. You know, that was my upbringing. As a young kid, I grew up here in Snowflake. I went to Snowflake Lobo games, and I couldn't wait for my chance. And so that was our playground football. You know, we were all getting ready to play Lobo football when we were kids out on the playground here.
Last thing I've got for you then, and there might be something else too from Claudia, but what is life going to look like for you now?
Well, I'm a principal here at my school, Taylor Elementary School in our Snowflake district. Great little school, kindergarten through 3rd grade school, and it's one of the best places you can be. Great kids that come in every day, and just melts your heart to, you know, hear, "Hey, Mr. Solomon," every morning from all these little voices. Outside of school, I've got 5 grandkids that live here in the area. All 5 of my grandkids live here in Snowflake, and I'm happy to be able to get the chance to spend more time with them and my own kids and others. My wife is big into some renovations and restorations of old homes and apartments and different things, and so I try to help her when I can. I'll definitely have a lot more time to help her with that, and she deserves that. She deserves a lot of that time that I've put into football over the years.
What has the high school coaching community meant to you? You know, being up in a pocket like you are up in Snowflake, I think in other states it could be easily to almost feel isolated, but it sounds like you've had relationships with so many coaches. And that's something that I hear nonstop from coaches all over, just the relationships they have with each other. So what's it been like being a part of this community?
Yeah, well, absolutely. You know, it was when we were in the 3A and playing up here in this East region in the 3A, you know, obviously you got to see and run into these coaches a lot more often. We definitely are isolated in the 4A in these past 3 years that we've been doing 4A, but you know, our region coaches in the East Sky region is where we were. We just found out that Snowflake's been moved to the Desert Sky as these new region assignments are coming out. But you know, Coach Binkley at Apache Junction, who's on his way out. Coach Thompson at Poston Butte. They've both been really a pleasure for me to get to know. To compete, you know, and coach against, but also just to get to know them as men and see what they're doing with their programs. And you know, like I say, for me, high school football it'd be great if I had, you know, lots of 4- and 5-star athletes that are getting ready to go on and play at high levels. But for us, it's more, you know, high school football is usually going to be it, and but we try to get the most out of it that we can, and especially build in some great, strong leadership qualities with our boys.
Coach, congratulations to you and your family. I just want to say, like I was saying before, culture and legacy is something that really has become a part of Snowflake, and it is clear that you have fully influenced the culture and absolutely left your legacy as a mark on the Snowflake Lobo. So congratulations on your retirement.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me on. My expectation, I don't think the coaching staff's going to change a whole lot when they announce my replacement. And I think you're going to see that continue right on, just like we've seen the past 10 years.
When I started to compete, they told me I should stop. When I came in dead last, they told me I should stop. When colleges didn't recruit me, they told me I should stop. What they didn't know is that I am unstoppable.
Let us help you be unstoppable with your financial goals at desertfinancial.com.
It's the model year end kickoff sales event going on now at Burge Mazda. Now's the time to save on the very latest 2025 Mazda models, like a 2025 CX-5, just $299 a month, or the versatile CX-50, just $289 a month, or save with 2.9% financing on the luxurious CX-90. Now's the time to upgrade and save at Burge Mazda during the model year kickoff event. Come in and celebrate at Burge Mazda, Baseline and Country Club.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring. Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget.
Let's go!
Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
Ortho Arizona and my journey. My knees were shot, so I had double knee replacement, and I wanted the best in rehab. Ortho Arizona encouraged and pushed me in the process. Go to orthoarizona.org. That's orthoarizona.org.
Welcome back to Bleacher Talk. I'm Jordan Spurgeon alongside Claudia Collins, and this week I got to go out to the Boys and Girls Club in Glendale to tell a really fun story. If you don't know anything about the Boys and Girls Club, it's a place for kids to go after school, all the way from elementary age to high school age, and just have fun activities and be together as part of a community. They have a chef out there, Chef Jeff, who used to do tailgates with the Cardinals, with the Dillingham family, actually, Kenny Dillingham's parents. So there's a really cool tie in there. And then the Mountain Ridge Girls Flag football players, some of them are a part of the club, and they're sort of the role models that these kids look up to. Here's more from the Boys and Girls Club.
Yeah, today's kids and tomorrow's stars. And I was so impressed with what they do for the kids, I asked how I could get involved. They had me call one of the branches, which is this branch where you're at today, which is the Elizabeth Sands branch, which is part of Buzz Sands' family. And they said, do you do cooking? I said, cooking? I said, absolutely. And so here, lo and behold, this is next year will be my 10th year.
Chef Jeff is a staple at the Boys and Girls Club Lewis and Elizabeth Sands branch. After years of experience cooking at Cardinals tailgate experiences, he enjoys giving back to the kids.
I really partnered with the Dillingham family, John and Jerry Dillingham. And when they moved out to the new stadium, out to the West Valley here, we went ahead and we heard there was going to be a tailgate kind of competition. And so on the last minute, we decided to go ahead, enter into this tailgate competition, and lo and behold, we won it. And this small tailgate of 20 people wound up to be a tradition out there all the way up until COVID, and we cooked for about 150 people every game. Just to get involved and volunteer, and many of these branches need volunteers. I got to tell you, seeing the faces and seeing how they react and seeing how appreciative, I can't tell you how many kids come up, either hug me or say they love being part of it, thank me. You can see that they really value it. And that's part of the things I think they teach here at a Boys and Girls Club.
We love working with Chef Jeff because he just brings out the energy and the charisma, and the kids love him and they know him and they really enjoy his food.
Along with the burgers from Chef Jeff, the kids get to enjoy activities with those they look up to, including Mountain Ridge flag football players like Sophia.
I do see some of their faces and we say like, oh, we play football. They're like, oh, really? So it's really nice to see that they're kind of getting the idea of what's going on. Thank you to the Boys and Girls Club and thank you to Trey for really inviting me out here. I think it's really like something people should consider because I know I've seen our girls who have like done it and got in touch with Trey. We've had a couple other girls here and I think that it really just lets them know like, hey, like you can do this in the future. This isn't just him, like go and be just like him when you're older.
If you've never been to a Boys and Girls Club ranch, you can go into the front office. They're all over. There's over 30 of them here in the Valley. I've got to tell you, it could change your life just seeing how these kids react to being able to be supported and maybe things that they don't have in life.
At Boys and Girls Club, volunteering is very impactful and we recommend anybody from different backgrounds to come and check us out, bgcaz.org.
What an awesome story, Spurge. I love to see it. And I'm actually hoping that this just shows how much there is in the off season. I know like when the season comes to an end, we're like, whatever will we do? But there is always something out there, so many amazing stories. And there's even more on our website, sports360az.com. But that does it this week for Bleacher Talk. We'll see you next time.
When I started to compete, they told me I should stop. When I came in dead last, they told me I should stop. When colleges didn't recruit me, they told me I should stop. What they didn't know is that I am unstoppable.
Let us help you be unstoppable with your financial goals at desertfinancial.com.
This is a Santan Ford announcement.
Santan Ford has over 1,600 new cars and trucks in stock. All models are priced for immediate sale to make room for more arrivals. Don't wait. Head to Tim Hovig's Santan Ford in Gilbert.
We are Santan Ford.
The Valley of the Sun will roar to life this spring.
This ought to get pretty wild here.
Why is that, you may ask? Because NASCAR is coming to Phoenix, and it's going to be a weekend of good vibes the whole family won't forget. The best-in-class fan experience meets racing's toughest drivers for 3 days of action on and off the track, all surrounded by the beautiful Estrella Mountains.
Oh yeah, baby! Let's go!
Get your tickets now at phoenixraceway.com.
Nothing brings people and families together faster than sharing food. Great friends, memories, and good times. For over 2 generations, Valle Luna has served you the food that brought you together, and we've been proud to do so. We're fortunate to have been a part of so many stories, gatherings, and traditions that continue on today and will tomorrow. Start a tradition of your own. Come taste authentic Sonoran-style food with your family and friends here with us at Valle Luna.
Let's talk about Venezia's Pizzeria. New York-style pizza. Oh man, this looks so good. Pizza doughs made fresh daily, wings, subs, sandwiches, pasta. They cater, they deliver. They have 5 Valley locations. Venezia's New York-style Pizzeria.